Welcome. This is a video on offside tactics and defending. In short, how to play given the fact that soccer is played with an offside law. It's not a video on setting the offside trap, although obviously that is part of the whole offside tactics in defense. But more, this is a discussion on how the back line or the team as a whole can use that law to their advantage, a good understanding of the law and how it's applied to the game. So let's take a look at some of these clips that we have lined up here. See how, in particular, the back line deals with that space. First example is we have a high restraining line. Here the white team is defending against Trinidad and Tobago, and you'll see here the ball is not under pressure in midfield, and the white team here is deciding to stay relatively high. Looks like there's only about 15 or 20 yards between where the ball is and where the back line is oriented. But they are well organized. They're basically compact in the back. Not a lot of big gaps for them to exploit. And of course, we'll have the goalkeeper in behind as the last player, ready to deal with that last big ball that's hit it over the top. Now, here, let's read these visual cues. Here we have an attacker that's made an approach to the ball, is leaning forward. Looks like he's going to hit the ball in behind. We have an attacker running in to what would be an offside position. So here the decision is not a stepping trap, but it's sort of like a holding their space in a line, allowing that player to run into an offside position, and when the ball comes there, it is judged to be offsides, and referee sees the assistant referee's flag and judges offsides. So there's a first example how a team can just hold their line and allow runners to run into offside positions. However, sometimes it's more appropriate, given the cues of the game, for the back line to drop. Maybe they are not as organized. Here they appear to be a little bit more unbalanced in the back. We have red players running from deeper spots, threatening into spaces behind. So here the back line decides to drop and read this problem by dropping. So you see their collective motion is more of a dropping one. Alright, there's pressure coming onto the ball, but it's not close enough to deny service. Since they dropped to this line, last clip we had, they were pretty much holding about here, and where the ball is so far away, in order to successfully land into this space in behind, the ball has to be overhit, which causes the ball to run all the way into the box, and the goalkeeper does his job by coming off his line and getting that bigger ball. So the combination of the defending team, the back line dropping, coupled with the fact that to beat that, the ball has to be hit a long way with a lot of pace, frequently allows the ball to go all the way to the goalkeeper. And like we said, he does his job and comes out and deals with it. Here we have another situation where from a long distance away, ball is not under pressure, we had an attacking teammate running into that space. The ball has to be hit overhit, so the defending team, it's appropriate just to drop there. There was only one of them, and because the ball has to be hit with quite a bit of pace, frequently it goes to the goalkeeper. If he does his job coming out of the box to grab it, we're all set. Alright, here we have the white line has stepped, and they're very close to the ball. We have a player in an offside position, but we also have players running into spaces from deeper spots that are not offsides. So we see the posture of the back line starting to turn their bodies and drop in order to defend that space in behind them. So they denied the service by that action. The red team did not think they could hit it behind there. So now we have pressure on the ball. We know that because the attacker's facing away from the goal and is basically shielding the ball from the defender. So now the back line can stop their dropping motion and hold their line and almost just bait them into hitting it a big ball into some players in an offside position. Notice they have two players in an offside position here and there. The field being cut appropriately allows us to see that clearly. So let's see what happens. Right there, they are starting to drop, but they are also doing a good job of to hold their line. And the ball has to be hit hard. They had dropped well and defended it. Nifty little header to get out of pressure, and they'll start the counterattack. Now, those were not a stepping offside trap, the ones we have seen. But here's an example where a team actually does aggressively step to put players into offside position. I think it's the women against Germany. Here's a throw-in. It comes back in a little bit, square and a little bit back. So the backs here for Germany are aggressively stepping towards this ball, placing a United States attacker in an offside position, and then that's judged to be offsides. So there's a difference. A good cue there is the ball was being able to put under pressure. It was a slow square pass. They can step aggressively and put players in an offside position. Good defending. Here we have a counterattack in midfield. A player dribbling, not under pressure in the midfield, and we have a player looking to run behind the back line. Notice what this defender does. She checks her run back so that the attacker can't run forward anymore. She has to check her run back as well, and this little hitch to the run takes away all the momentum forward, and it's easily defended. Great defending there. Okay, again, similar situation. We have a ball not under pressure in midfield with a lot of space in behind the back line where the ball can be hit. Let's see what the back line does. Do they drop? Do they hold? Or do they step? And that's judged offsides by the assistant referee. They just let the attacking players run into that offside position. They were well organized, close enough so they can communicate, and with a good result. There again, we see a ball pretty much under pressure. The attacker was dribbling away from pressure. Let's see if we can rewind that a little bit. Here the attacker we see is dribbling away from the goal. So the back line steps with the pressure, keeping close covering position. Definitely got to get out of our goal. And then that player is in an offside position. So, a couple different ways to handle it. We had a holding back line, we have a stepping back line. The other idea here is that the back line steps in moments like this when the ball is sort of cleared high and out. We'll see them keeping the team compact by their stepping action. We don't even have to know what's going on with the ball, but you see how they just have stepped here just a little bit. This 4 or 5 yard step here keeps them closer to the midfield block of players, and just is able to keep the team more compact so they can keep better pressure on the ball in midfield. Now we see the ball, see it coming back. Now it goes forward, but look how much higher they were. They were up about this line when that ball was served. So you see them stepping out of these deep spaces to get forward more, allows them to keep their team compact, makes the other team hit the ball, hit it over the top, which again easily goes to the goalkeeper. Let's watch Sweden here defend. Their back line is very fluid. They stay together. They slide. Ooh, this wing back was outnumbered 2-on-1, so he decides not to pursue this ball, but to drop so we can deal with those two attackers. He dealt with the two Korean attackers by dropping and delaying until a second defender can come over and support him. So now the ball's played back a little bit. You see how Sweden was at their 18, just stepped about 5 or 6 yards there, allows them to keep the team a little bit more compact. Again, here we have them stepping. The ball's not exactly cleared, but look how hard they're stepping. They're all the way out of the box except for that one trailing defender who quickly joins them. Drop a little bit. They're holding, they're holding, they're holding. Now the ball's played back, so they're stepping a little bit. And you see even the arm actions and the communication coming from that central defender. He's getting his whole back line up. Now they drop to deal with the big service. Nifty flicker header. Come up. And they deny that service. See, again, there was an example of the white team aggressively stepping, keep the team compact in defense. Offsides. Not really a trap, just letting them run all into an offside position. They were keeping their good balancing spaces. Holding. Dropping because they read service. It was timed well with the run. Ball comes out square. They're holding because that ball could possibly be hit behind. Now they're stepping because the ball is played back. Stepping again because the ball is played square. They keep on drifting forward and they're able to get good pressure on the ball in midfield. Just watch it go here a little bit. See that? It's a real cat and mouse game. This is the same clip, just we're going to let it go a little bit longer. Pressure in midfield, holding at the line, not allowing them run on top of the goalkeeper. Now they step, still coming up. Allows, even though we missed the tackle, we have pressure in midfield. They're holding. Now they're dropping a little bit, but there's a limit to their drop. They're holding at the line. Now they're in trouble. They got to drop and mark man for man in the box, but they deal with it well. See what happens on the throw-in. Here they're coming out because the ball's going away from their goal. Look how quickly they get out of their box. Pressure in midfield. Now they're in a good balanced spot, so now they can attack quickly and fluidly out of that. Good wide runs, opening up the defense. Seams created. Almost a real good counterattack opportunity there. Good pressure, holding their line, right? We're balanced, we're outnumbering our opponent. We're okay here. So no need to panic and drop deep into our box, right on top of our goalkeeper. We're just inviting a deep service into a very dangerous area. Ball's played back. You see the back stepping. They were here. Now they just step. They're gaining 7, 8 yards, 10 yards maybe, but when the play is over, just by cruising out a little bit. Stepping even more, a big back pass. No need to chase this pass back in there. If these attackers just aggressively stepped here, the goalkeeper would just wait and play behind them, and there would be energy expended for no need. Now they're just going to drop, deal with this big service that's coming. One defender goes up to challenge the ball. The other two are tucking in behind them in a good covering position in case the ball's won by the red team and flicked on. Right? The play's over. They dealt with it, and they kept the team nice and tight and compact. No danger.